Morning, folks. I want to talk about something today that has been on my mind for a while, and I don't think enough endgame players are talking about it, or rather, they are talking about it in a very indirect way. They're like 80% there, but they're not quite crossing the finish line. It's almost like they ran a marathon and then a block away, they kind of just stopped and said, "Nah, I'm good. I give up." And essentially, what that is, and I won't bury the lead here, is that I have completely and fully stopped farming shock prods. That's right, you heard it here first. Completely, 100%. My non-essential, my non-passive shock prod income as of the last couple of weeks is zero. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. All right. So first of all, this is a video for the end game, right? I don't think the tip of the spear players, but maybe right before the tip of the spear players. And for those of you who are not there yet, I urge you to still watch this, not because I need the views or anything, but because I do think that there is value in understanding my thought process, and if you understand my thought process, maybe it'll help you in your own farming of materials. Effectively, what I'm saying is that we have spent so much time in a Kyrotech crunch that now that some of us aren't in that crunch anymore, we still, every single day when we are done with whatever shards we need to farm, we still go to light side battles. Still go to 7, is it 7B? I don't even remember. Yeah, light side 7B. We still just burn all of our energy there. And there's two reasons that we do it. Number one, because we have PTSD from shock prods being something that we've needed for so very long. And number two, because these MK5 Fabritech data pads are also really great for bronzium wiring. So we figure, why not, right? But the problem is in 2025, there are just so many other needs on the relicking side that we are putting ourselves in a detriment by wasting so much of our time, effort, and energy on that 7B node. So I want to just show you, if I go down to my episode shipments, right now I have 3,400 shock prods and I have 3,000 battle computers. Now that is partially from the fact that I just stopped doing my shock prods maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, but it's also partially because my passive income for shock prods is pretty large. And we're going to kind of jump over to that real quick and make a segue. I know that this sheet isn't pretty. I understand that it is not like what I am known for, and there's no moonborn aesthetic here, but this is just something that I did quick to kind of show off what my income is. And you'll notice that there are two asterisks. Those asterisks are over territory wars and territory battles, because this is more of a guesstimate based on what I've seen. The game is slightly coy about the exacts that you get there without actually having to do them right there in the moment. So it may be slightly higher, maybe slightly lower, but I'd like to think that I went with a more conservative number for those things, right? And then Zepho and Mandalore are the monthly numbers, not the per event numbers. So you can see between everything that I'm getting just from playing the game, just from showing up, just my participation trophy, I'm getting about 370 shock prods and about 370 battle computers per month, right? And to put that in perspective, Captain Athano is gearing requirements. I need 250 shock prods and I need 150 battle computers. Depa Balaba, I need 250 shock prods, 150 battle computers. That seems to be about what the average is. I want to make clear that I am not saying that my shock prods and battle computers, my Kyrotech, completely outpace the new stuff coming into the game. What I am saying is that I have so many right now And the excess that is outpacing me, um, it will take me, I would estimate off the top of my head, probably about 18 months to 2 years, if I do not farm any shock prods in that time, to really start to feel like I am limited again. And in that time, there are other opportunities for me to make purchases. For example, if I were to buy the episode pass, I am getting a full Kyrotech power converter. I am getting a full shock prod. I am getting a full battle. I said battle computer before, but I meant power converter, and a full battle computer here. And I wouldn't make those purchases specifically for the shock prods or the Kyrotech, but they are purchases that I might make once or twice a year, and I'm going to get those things as an extra. The same thing with particular Ascension packs, or even marquee battles where I did not include tier 3, which every day is an extra 2 battle computers and shock prods. So what I'm saying is that by farming these guys, I am wasting a lot of my time, effort, and energy. Additionally, when I do start to feel that crunch, I have a lot of avenues to procure them really fast, right? I'm not saying like, oh, when I get to 0, I'm screwed and I have to start farming. But if I do end up getting down to like the 1,000 mark, I can say, okay, I'm going to make a change and I'm going to start buying them again, right? And I can buy them from the episode shipment, which is something that you could always do with GCs, but I'm sure people in my um, area of the game aren't doing that right now. I can buy it with my guild events, MK3, which I don't think I've never done. MK2, which used to be a very, very big thing to do with my Grand Arena currency. I guess I can do it with my Legends tokens, though I don't advise it. The point is that there are a lot of ways that I can build that horde up really fast. So what am I doing with my normal energy? I don't even refresh normal energy anymore. What I have noticed, as someone who is in the end game, as someone who needs a lot of raid material, I am constantly hurting for Electrium conductors. And I know you're looking at my stash and going, well, Egnards, you have all these materials. You could convert these things into quite a bit of Electrium conductors. Well, the reality is that you obviously do always want to have some degree of a horde of gear for those new characters, and I like to have and keep myself at about 400 of each of these as my base 0. So I've looked at all of these materials I have here, and I think I've landed on the MK12 Armatech Cybernetics Prototype Salvage as being my new farming point, right? And if we look at where to find that, we're going to see it's on Dark Side 9C, right? So over the last month or so, I have been going to Dark Side 9C, and I have been farming this because I get something that's really nice for my Electrium conductors, to be able to get my Relic 6s up a little bit higher. Relic 7 stuff is on fleet battles, and then there is, I believe, some impulse detector stuff on normal energy, though I am typically finding that because I'm hurting for MK6 stuff so much more, I should say Relic 6 stuff so much more, that I typically do have the impulse detectors that I need by the time that I need them, right? Now, the other part of this question is, well, Egnards, the other reason that I do the shock prod node is because of bronzium wirings, and I do have good news for you. While on, what is it, 7B? Well, on 7B, you have these Fabritech data pads, which give you 10 salvage per pull. When you go to Dark Side 9C, and 7B 9C kind of throws you for a loop, there are a couple things you can get. So this MK4 Biotech implant prototype is 6 per pull for bronzium wirings. right? And then you also have this MK6 Lorner Power Cell salvage. And I believe that gives you 2. Let's check. Let's see if we can find it out. Bronzium wiring, MK6, that gives you 2, right? So it's not exactly the same amount of bronzium that you were getting before, but I do believe that there is enough. And I think MK4's Zaltin Balk to salvage are actually there as well. Let's take a look at that. MK4, right? Also on a 2. And if we're looking at an approximate drop rate of being roughly the same between all of those items, we can kind of surmise that it's going to be about the same for bronzium wiring. The only difference is now that you have to remember to salvage 3 things instead of 1 thing, right? So I did tell those of you who are not at the tip of the spear, not towards the end of the spear, to stick around and maybe you'll understand a concept or two. And this is basically what I'm saying here. Don't get into habits just for the sake of getting into habits. Ask yourself what you truly need, what you truly have, why you're spending each resource, right? And you might find that, hey, I'm actually wasting crystals by refreshing this energy. Or, hey, I'm actually wasting my energy by putting it into this material when really another material is far more gating for me. Don't get into those habits of saying, well, I've been doing this for 2 years this one way and it's been working for me, so why would it change what I'm doing? It doesn't make sense to me, right? So if you get anything out of this video at all, one, just keep in mind your habits and reassess them, as I don't think as often as possible needs to happen. But I do think, every 6 to 12 months, you should ask yourselves that question. And for those of you who are in the end game, consider the fact that you don't really need to put any energy towards your Shockprods or your battle computers anymore. And, ever since I have kind of thought this up, I've also been thinking, because I need Electrium conductors so much, I may even start refreshing normal energy again, to be able to help enhance my raid viability. So with that in mind, I hope that you do find this helpful. Peace out and have a great rest of your day.